Okay, I cut that a little short there, Jake, since it was 10:05. I just wanted to make sure that yeah, we got going. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I'm just sharing this out now from my Total News Network platform, and it's going to be nice to actually have be able to see chat. Let me make sure you put my mic back on.
Yeah, it's on. It's on.
Welcome everybody. Welcome. I see Glaze here.
I'm checking my my chat is not working yet, so I'll let you read it for a while.
All right.
Hey, listen, I gotta tell you, it's too late now. I gotta head to bed. So this is an hour and 15-minute procedure to get it up and running tonight. That's funny.
Well, yeah. Let me explain what's going on here on my pod anyway. So right now I finally am at a place with Wi-Fi. It's a little echoey in here, so I'm gonna have to take care of that. The green screen isn't the same, but at least I could see chat, and I'm just glad to be here with all you guys and Rich. And so I'm gonna check Restream chat while you're checking yours, and you're gonna let us know what's first. My God, there's so much.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm still trying to get some chat going there. Seeing why it's not coming up. Chat is waiting for you. Told me to change those settings. I think you gave me a bump steer. Well, obviously the biggest thing is the whole Easter worshiper thing. And yeah, I pulled up this. This was a and actually, oh, I don't have my split screen here. Let me see if that's there we go. So this is for the Christchurch. This is just showing the difference between what was put out there. Michelle and I send our condolences to the people of New Zealand. We grieve with you and the Muslim community. All of us must stand against hatred in all its forms. And then on top of that, you had Hillary. My heart breaks for New Zealand and the global Muslim community. We must continue to fight the perpetuation, normalization, Islamophobia, and racism in all its forms. White supremacist terrorists must be condemned by leaders everywhere. Their murderous hatred must be stopped. Now, it's funny that she uses that whole white supremacist thing, which obviously, and then, of course, the Trumpster, he put out there, my warmest sympathy, best wishes goes to the people of New Zealand. After a horrible massacre in the mosques, 49 innocent people have so senselessly died, yada, 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 but, and then you have their tweet. And it doesn't even make sense because there's no such thing as Easter worshipers that I know of. But yet both of them used it, and it was just such a denial of it. And I'm going to throw this last thing up here, which you won't be able to see yet.
Yeah, I never heard of Easter worshipers before. What the hell is an Easter worshiper? Now, we haven't done a show in a while, so people have already covered this, but who cares? We're doing it.
Right.
I don't worship an Easter bunny. I don't worship Easter. I worship Christ. What a slap in the face to Christians, man. And is there any doubt or shock to anybody out there why Hillary lost? What a piece of crap.
Yeah, she is definitely a piece of crap. And the funny thing is that, and we've mentioned this before in Scopes. If you talk about China, and this is kind of, I hope it plays against them in one respect. They're not actually going after Christians. It's trying to relegate them to a position of insignificance, because we've talked about before in China where you have this huge proliferation of Christianity, where people are risking their lives and they're going up into these caves and mountains and homes and everything, and they're trying to hear the word of God. And it's one thing about it that Christianity always proliferates, it always advances under persecution. Okay. But now what the left seems to be trying to do is relegate it to just a point of insignificance, so they don't attack it. It's almost like a passive aggressive thing that
Right.
that they're doing, which is this doing. It's saying if you're a Christian, you're basically worshiping an Easter bunny. I mean, it's almost like they're trying to say that it's really and it has been really
It was
demeaning.
those people were in that church worshiping Christ, and you can't even give them the respect to say that they're Christian. I mean,
Yeah,
there's a special place in hell for that right there.
Well, and this came out, and this is talking about this guy Zahran Hashim, radical Islamist linked to the Sri Lanka blast, and it goes on and talks about the fact that this guy, which I find funny now, if you look the next thing in this article, in the article it said he had attracted several thousand followers on social media sites, including YouTube and Facebook, where he posted incendiary sermons. In one, the cleric with unkempt black beard delivers an extremist diatribe against non-Muslims with a crudely photoshopped backdrop of flags and flames. So my question is this: why does YouTube and Facebook allow this but drop the bomb on every conservative that's out there trying to put forth a conservative position, but yet they will let this guy who's obviously doing what he's doing and so anyway.
Gosh, it's disgusting. And one thing I love about D Live, pretty much right in step with you on our broadcast. Like when I watch Periscope on my phone, it's like way behind. D Live is right there with you.
Good.
So when you put it up, I don't even want to watch Periscope. I could see the chat, so there's no sense to even really watch it.
Well, that's good.
Anybody on YouTube, but let me check again. We definitely are live.
All right.
For sure.
Well, hey, it's late. Like I said, I knew it was. What'd you do? Put out the time at 9:00? People gave up.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll tweet it out right now while we're live.
Yeah, and one of the other things I wanted to mention about that, the fact that, of course, just like in the Christchurch when Hillary mentions the whole white supremacist, I pulled up this video, and this is when she was pretty much equating the MAGA coalition to the white supremacist nationalist type movement. So I'm going to just play that clip real quick.
Wait, who was saying that?
It was Hillary, and this is a speech she gave where she was equating to the whole MAGA movement.
MAGA movement, not MAGA coalition.
Well, that's true. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know that word. You had mentioned it one time and now it's stuck. But
Yeah.
but she doesn't say MAGA, but she says the White House. So she's talking
Right.
about, so I'm going to play that real quick here.
All right.
Are doing now could be as important as anything that anyone has done before. When racist and white supremacist views are lifted up in the media and the White House, when hard-fought-for civil rights are being stripped back.
Yeah. So, so you got her putting that forward, and it's just, she's really trying to pin all this together, as well as the comments with the as far as the. So anyway, whatever. Yeah, it was. We'll see what comes of it. I'm glad to see. Obviously, there was a lot of backlash against them for it. Hopefully, there's more to come.
So right now I'm checking out D Live. We have Nathan over there on D Live.
Hey, Nathan, what's up?
Let's see who else is over there. Now we definitely are going to make an account. I don't see Rocky over there. He's usually on there, and I don't see him on YouTube either, which is very strange. So I hope Rocky's okay out there. I know I was joking around with him when I went live last time, saying he might be Q, and I know he does not like Q. So hopefully he wasn't offended, but not many people are offended from me. So it's actually really good to be checking chat and everything. So usually I just stare at the camera. So this is kind of at least cool that I can see who's live, who's not.
Right.
So what's next on our agenda?
Well, I'm going to tell you, I guess the clip of the week for shutting down people was that was Barr when he had that news conference, and I just love how he handled the questioning as far as the Mueller report.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when he brought this up, I'll play that real quick.
There's a lot of public
All right.
interest in the absence of members of his team. Was he invited to join the open podium? Why is he not here? This is his report, obviously, that you're talking about today.
No, it's not. It's a report he did for me as the Attorney General. He is required under the regulation to provide me with a confidential report. I'm here to discuss my response to that report and my decision, entirely discretionary, to make it public, since these reports are not supposed to be made public. That's what I'm here to discuss.
Impropriety for you to come out and sort of what appears to be sort of spitting in the report before public to public get a chance to read it.
Okay, thank you very much.
I just love how he shut down that whole thing and how he redirected it and basically brought it back to the fact that no, Mueller, he was a special investigative prosecutor, but no, he is not the AG. And so I like how he brought that back around. So that worked out well. You there?
Yeah, I got you. I got you. I turned up the volume on D Live to hear that, and I was getting this crazy echo. I don't think anybody else was getting the echo. That would be weird if they were. But I love the guy in the background. What's his name to the right? Is that Rosenstein? What's his name?
Oh, the little smile he threw out there at the
Oh
end.
no, he never even blinked. That guy was freaking out. He's like, "Oh my God, I'm going to jail."
Oh, that one, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, "Uh-oh, this is not good. This is not good." Let's see. Okay, Nathan's saying Q is fake, and he's saying you're good. So we did not have a echo.
Good deal. Good deal. Now, there was one bombshell that came out of the Mueller report. I don't know if you saw that, but it may have flown under radar. I'll throw that up there. Oh, hold on. No, that's not it. Where's my bombshell? Oh, there it is. That's right. Ivanka, Trump's Russian contacts include a Kremlin-linked fashion blogger. How dare that happen? Did you hear about that? And how can we stand for her having? That's what they came out. Did you see that clip?
No, I did not.
Oh,
You gonna play it?
No, it wasn't a clip. It was just the article. I throw it back up there again. It says
All right.
Ivanka Trump, the president's daughter and a top White House advisor, was involved in several of the contacts between Russia and basically saying a lawyer linked to the Russian government, basically saying with a fashion influencer, her approached her on behalf of the Kremlin.
It's amazing.
Okay,
Bro.
what's that mean? Listen, the nuts and bolts of it are 1.4 million documents. Okay, everybody they wanted to testify. Trump gave a written statement, and in the end, no charges. And all they're doing is they're dog stepping this thing, trying to drag it out and hope that they can parlay it to something in the elections. It's not going to happen. They're going to look like idiots if they keep pursuing it, because there's nothing they're going to do between now and the elections that Mueller didn't have the opportunity to do in a year and a half of trying to track this stuff down, you know?
Well, now of course they're going after his taxes. We're back to that. It's just like rinse, repeat. When are you actually going to come up with like a plan to make America better?
Right.
It's just what's your plan you running on, Democrats? Oh, we're not Trump. What about his taxes? Russia. I hope I hope everybody's quiet out there. Let them keep doing this. This is awesome. This is
Yep.
going to be great. Just keep doing that. Have no plan. All that. It's going to be just awesome.
Yeah, and we talked about that. The Christian thing. I don't know if you saw this article or not. Thousands protest Pence's speech at a Christian college that he was going to be given. It was May 18th, and this was at Taylor University. So apparently 4,000 people signed a petition. Now keep in mind this college only has 2,100 people enrolled in it, but yet there's 4,000 people signed a petition, and basically the statement was that alumni from there said that they're deeply uncomfortable with the vice president's attendance. These are people, gay, female, immigrants who feel personally injured by policies set forth by the administration. Well, that's kind of funny that this Christian college is saying that this is basically what the Christian college is founded on. It. So I would really question what that whole thing's about. But once again, just because of his Christian beliefs, which don't align themselves with a we'll say a more liberal Christian, a very liberal Christian college. Apparently, I don't know. I don't even know what the student body says, because 4,000 signatures, where are they coming from? Who's signing these things if the enrollment's only 2,100? So,
Well, I love the point that they're trying to impeach Trump. Most of these freaks on the left don't like Pence. They hate him more than they hate Trump. So you're going to impeach Trump, you're going to be with Pence.
Yeah.
Good luck with that. You know what I mean?
yeah, and no, I think Mike Pence is a stand-up guy. I don't see any problem with him. I mean, I really don't know how he does as president, but I just don't see a problem with what he's got. So,
No,
they,
of course
and
not.
they dogged his wife,
value.
right? And they dogged his wife because she was going to go. Which she either worked at a Christian school, or she was going to back to work part time. Do some work at, not work part time, but do some work at this Christian school that she used to be a teacher at. So yeah, crazy stuff. But
Now, this wasn't on our list, but I wanted to talk about Bibi Netanyahu. Did you hear that he was going to name one of the towns that he put up a vote for it in the Golan Heights after Trump? Talk about trolling the world and the media. He wants to name a town on the Golan Heights after Trump. Oh my God, these guys know how to troll these one world freaks.
That's I would love to see that. That'll be awesome. People,
because they're good friends, and we should be good friends with Israel. And the day we're not, say goodbye to America.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand, and well, obviously we know where some of the people in Congress are coming from. They made that perfectly clear. But in all reality, who else do you have? You think Turkey's your ally? You think Saudi Arabia is your ally? Do you think they really care about us? They only care about us insofar as we bring them $1 and we buy something from them. That's all they care about. Anyway, so yeah. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that, and I'm also glad that we do have a relationship now with Israel, because God knows that went away with Obama in the in the White House. Oh, which, by the way, I was going to throw this up here too, talking about the fact that YouTube and Facebook were allowing that guy to do his thing on behalf of his cause. One thing that flew under radar on Thursday, I don't know if you saw it, but I thought it was
real quick on chat. I want to make sure I pay attention.
Sure.
Glee rules. Pence will be harder to deal with. He's a righteous warrior. Yes, amen to that.
Amen, Glay. Yeah. Hey, and how you doing, Glay? I don't have chat today. Really, it's kind of in and out. So, yeah, those that bless her will bless. Yep, they will be cursed. Yeah, I mean, just the war that went on over there, 7-day war, was incredible. What happened, the numbers, and all that stuff. There had to be some divine intervention on that. I'm going to throw this up here. Facebook security lapse affects millions of Instagram users. So this is so funny. So they bring this out on Thursday. Facebook chose one of the busiest news days in America this year to admit that millions more Instagram users were affected, than it had previously said. So basically what they had said was that they had uploaded the contacts of 1.5 million users. Let me see if I can find a thing. No, the actual numbers, and these were email passwords, unencrypted, that they did. They said they were getting rid of them, but then they came out and said, no, it was hundreds of millions of Facebook Lite users, tens of millions of other Facebook users, and tens of thousands of Instagram users had data stored in an insecure way, which hackers were eating up. In the update, the company said it discovered additional logs of Instagram passwords being stored in a readable format. We now estimate this issue impacted millions of Instagram users. So they weren't going to tell anybody, and they put this just out on some general vlog that they had.
Right.
And they waited until the Mueller report was coming out, and they put it out there then.
To try to bury it. I'll never forget that they were able to read private messages.
Yeah.
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 You have private messages for a reason, and then it turns out they're reading those too. How many people, send things that they didn't want anybody to see, only to find out a bunch of weirdos at Facebook were looking at it, probably screenshotting it and everything else, and laughing at parties about it, and then selling it to who knows who.
Right. And yeah, exactly. And one of the other things, oh, let me go back to this for a second. One of the other things I found funny with the Mueller report, it said in the Mueller report, Trump was obsessed with finding Clinton's missing emails. Okay? Yeah, well, okay. I think a lot of people would really like to know what was in those missing emails.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought it was kind of funny that they had that article, and that was the one I ran up, and I had totally forgotten about the fact that Peter Smith, that Republican donor that was trying to get up with hackers to actually get a hold of that, and came up with that article. This is what this says that doesn't make any sense about this guy Peter Smith, and I never really followed the article. It says when they first came out with it, said what was it, the podcast, that it was a result of foul play and that Smith, oh, that's it. They said no reason to believe death was a result of foul play and that Smith likely had died of natural causes. It said they found that he committed suicide in a hotel near the Mayo Clinic. He was found with a bag over his head with a source of helium attached. A medical examiner's report gives the same account without specifying the time and report. But this is the funny thing it says, is that the insurance policy, where is it at? That's it. It says no foul play whatsoever was involved in his death. He wrote that he was taking his own life because of a recent bad turn in health since January and timing related to life insurance of $5 million expiring, which doesn't even make sense because you're not going to get the money.
Right.
If you commit suicide, you're not getting the money anyway. So,
Well, who is his beneficiary? I'd like to know.
yeah, I don't know.
Maybe Vince Foster,
Vince.
who also committed suicide with 2 bullets in the back of his head.
Yeah, that does bring back a lot of highway troopers that disappeared and all that. Yeah,
The Clintons are ruthless. But, we don't want to get off on conspiracy theories. We'll leave those with the Q-tards. Speaking of the main Q-tard, I want to say this real quick, and this has nothing to do with Rich. He don't know these people. He don't know these losers. I'm just going to say this quick. This pathetic medic, or whatever his name is, that prays for people that he can bring your people back to life and bring back limbs, this clown in Arizona, this fat piece of garbage, actually tweeted out that QAnon must be Christ because he came back from the dead or whatever, because people were saying QAnon is dead, and this piece of garbage was joking probably, but maybe not, because he was an atheist before he discovered God and how he can make money on it. But to even joke, and I believe it was like Good Friday, that QAnon must be Jesus, what a piece of crap.
Yeah.
Anybody that follows that guy after that or gives any money to this guy, you get everything you got, you deserve it. You're going to get what you got coming as far as karma. That guy's a clown. He's a piece of crap, a piece of garbage, scammer. And some of the people that I used to roll with and try to get this other clown who does scopes from his bathroom with really bad art and a little chalkboard in the background. They used to, roll with me, and they still follow these clowns. And they claim they're Christians, which is the best part about it. So just wanted to throw out there, these pieces of garbage will have hell to pay, if not on earth, in heaven. Good luck with that. You're a piece of garbage.
Hey, Della Pearl, I agree with that. The pathetic medic thing, that was good. Did you just come up? Was that spontaneous, or had you thought of that prior to that?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just thought of that because we were talking about.
That was good. That was good. I like that.
It's just disgusting. It's disgusting behavior. And anybody that follows that guy, I'm going to announce that right now. Anybody that follows that guy or the other clown in Arizona or any of them people, just don't follow me, man. Because I'm just going to block you anyway. I'm not going to tell you who to follow and who to watch. But if you watch garbage like that, just get off my page. Don't ever even acknowledge me, please. I don't need that.
Okay, and I'll come at it with the softer side. Not that I know that I did watch like 5 minutes of it before, and then I just got like shades of Benny Hinn or someone. Ben Hinn. Who's that guy? Who's that guy that?
Yeah, where he just hits them in the forehead and all that same scam crap going on.
But the wicked frameth mischief with the truth, and if you do watch him and you do believe and take what he says as gospel or that it's from the gospel, really do your research, because Yeah, this, this guy would definitely fall in line with that new apostolic reformation that's out there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just double.
No Christian would
double-
joke around that anybody is Jesus.
No, not without ducking
No
behind
Christian
something.
would.
Yeah.
And I'm not being like, oh, a social justice warrior.
Oh, no.
Christians are so weak. No. There's a line you don't cross.
Right.
And that for me crossed it. So
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. But yeah, so Gabriel says Tom Fitton, a judicial watch just announced the Clinton emails were found. I'll have to
that's good.
Yeah, I have to check that out because I'd love, unless Anonymous found them, I would really be curious as who actually got a hold of those things. I mean,
well, maybe it's tied in with what's his face from Julian Assange from WikiLeaks. Maybe that's how they found him.
he pulled the trigger device. Yeah,
The death switch or whatever.
man, I tell you what, I would really love to know that he had one, because say what you want about the guy, there's a lot of things that we know may not like about our government and the way they do things, not always in our best interest, that we would never have known had he not been doing what he was doing. So I don't have a problem, like I've always said, even with the Russian thing, even if they had said, yeah, he got information about Hillary. Listen, if the information's true, I really don't care who the messenger is for the most part. If it's true, then I want to know it. So if someone gave me the information, yeah, sure, let me know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Della Pearl, the Holy Spirit will tell you that the guy is a fraud. Yeah, which is a good point. That's why when you're at a sermon on Sunday, you pray for discernment. Before you read the Bible, you pray for understanding. When you're listening to the preacher, you pray for discernment, because every one of these people, and I don't know what the medic dude thing is, but all these people were indoctrinated by somebody who's indoctrinated by somebody who's indoctrinated. All through
Right.
seminary, they had a professor who was taught this way and taught this way, and that falls all the way down. That's why you pray for discernment and guidance. So anyway,
Absolutely.
just wanted to say that.
That guy and many like him, it's just about money. That's it. They don't even believe in God. There's no way they do. And they believe in the dollar, and they don't care how they get it. Whatever they got to do, bro, they'll do it. And it's pretty sickening. As far as the QAnon thing, to cover that real quick, I don't care what you follow, if you believe it or you don't. I personally don't believe it. But I will say what's troubling lately, all these Q decoders, I guess they call themselves. One, it contradicts everything. If Q was real, QAnon tells you to do your own research, but then you have decoders. So why are you watching decoders tell you what Q means when you're supposed to be doing your own research? But one thing that raised a red flag recently, I went on a couple of these clowns' page, and I simply asked questions. Like I asked that medic clown who blocked me, hey, if you claim you're doing this to save the children, how much money goes towards the victims, their families,
Right.
or crime prevention? He blocked me. Then the other ones say that if you don't believe in QAnon, then you're not MAGA, you're from the deep state. Also, the new one now is their number one enemy, the MAGA coalition. That's why I was like, what did Hillary say? That you work for the MAGA coalition if you don't like QAnon. And I went on a page, I don't know what the guy's page is, In the Cesspool or something like that. And I was like, hey, so if I don't believe in QAnon, I'm not MAGA, I don't vote for Trump,
Right.
I'm not a conservative or a patriot. He blocked me. Why are you blocking me for asking questions? That's because they don't want questions. They don't want people starting to think. They just need you to blindly follow off the cliff. And before you jump off the cliff, throw them your wallet or pocket.
Well, yeah, because you know what? In the end, it's all about the wizard, and they don't want somebody pulling back the curtain and find out that it's fake. And I've been I've been dealing and have been versed in the whole conspiracy things since I was a young lad. We'll say that, and,
Right.
I'm not a young lad anymore. And the one thing I'll say is this, dude. Anonymous drops out Vault 7. Bam, there it is. Assange puts a whole website out dropping documents that are actual documents. Bam, there they are. There is no reason why, if this guy is so connected and really wants the American people to know what's going on, that you have any code. You just tell people. You make them aware. Otherwise, you're just an egomaniac that just you want people hanging on every word you say. And if that's what you're about, screw you anyway. You don't have as much information as most of the people. It's almost like a fortune teller. You pull the picture out of someone's pocket and you make a story up from then, and then everybody else makes the story up from there. Anyway,
It's ridiculous.
it is.
Bro, now people watch it, if you're going to watch it for entertainment or it's interesting, but it's the cult people that'll like attack you if you say anything. It's
Right.
really weird, man.
Yeah.
I got to tell you. And it's definitely dividing a lot of people because is it true? Is it not true? Are they real? Are they not real? You're not MAGA, you're not MAGA. And then there's this whole group now. People that used to be enemies are coming together to take down the scammers and the grifters, which I'm so glad to see. I'm even allowed on pages that at one time, I used to mess around and unfortunately jumped in the bandwagon of attacking some people because they were kind of foul mouthed. But one thing, they accept me back on their page at least, which whatever, if they did or they didn't, I don't care.
Right.
But yes, I did not agree with their language and some of the things they did, but they weren't trying to scam people.
Right.
Now the QAnon crowd saying they're deep state and Mossad. They're not Mossad, bro. They just see scammers. That's it.
Right.
Just like everybody else,
That's right. Hey, Rocky, what's up?
Hey, Rocky's here. He's here.
Rocky said, I just got my alert. Good. Tony thought he offended you, and here we are
Yeah.
talking about Q
That
now.
guy never puts out our alerts. But let me tell you, when I do it, it's done.
Yeah, so Glay said, found them in the executive office after Obama left. The FBI has had them all this time. They admit, wow, crazy. I would love to know how much of it they will actually release, because you got to figure that's very damning. And Della Peralta have been blocked by a lot of, quote, prophets just for asking questions. They don't
Yeah.
like the question. They don't have the answers. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's amazing to me. I mean, what are you worried about? Let's have a discussion.
Yeah.
Why, if somebody's asking a question, are you blocking him? I'm not insulting you or attacking you. I'm asking a question. And the fact that you have to block somebody who's just simply asking a question should raise a red flag to everybody out there.
Amen.
Like, if you don't want to have a discussion, so what? People should just listen to your bullshit and just throw money at you without asking questions? What, are you kidding? That's a cult. That's absolutely a cult.
Hey, ultimately, if you quote or actually have this information, you want people, you want the questions, because that's how the word spreads. That's how it gets around. You don't want a closed box of all like-minded things. Well, actually, they do want a closed box of like-minded things, and it is divisive. So, yeah.
Well, the one thing is it's dangerous too, because they're like, oh, what are we doing wrong? We're just talking about, QAnon or whatever. But maybe QAnon's making people complacent and like trust Sessions, trust the plan. Maybe if people weren't so complacent, they would have got demanded that Sessions go earlier. Maybe we wouldn't have lost the House, which we probably lost because of voter fraud, whatever.
Right.
But maybe it's making people complacent. Maybe now they're QAnon's their God, and and not focused on Trump. Is QAnon now bigger than Trump? I mean, and then you got the people fighting whether it's real or fake. I mean, I don't see really much good out of it, honestly.
No, everything you just said is dead on there. So, and when you talk about, the illegal voters, okay, nice segue. Here we go. The migrant situation. Just a quick update on that. Did you hear what's going on down at the border?
No.
Okay, so here you got it. Videos appear to, it's all chopped up. What happened? Did I chop that up? Let me see if I can expand it out. Oh man, that was a bad cut and paste job. So let me actually pull the thing. So basically, a video appears to show armed militia detaining migrants at the U.S.-Mexico border. So there's an armed right-wing militia member that they're showing this picture of. American Civil Liberties people, all these down. But these guys are down there on the border, and they're basically detaining the immigrants and until the border patrol, and they are armed and they are down there. And so what they're doing is they're like standing at the end of where a sectional wall will be, and these migrants will come by and they'll stop them and just hold them there, and then call the border patrol and tell them, hey, this is what's going on. So it's kind of interesting because, of course, the border patrol hasn't necessarily stopped these people. They did go search the house of the militia leader, and and I got to tell you, I'm for militias, okay? I believe constitutionally that we're supposed to have. As a matter of fact, I would encourage everybody this book right here, it's probably backwards to you, Black's Law's Dictionary. A great book if you ever want to find out the definition and what things are. And one of the things that they talk about is that it's illegal for these people to be down there detaining these immigrants. Well, au contraire, mon frere, I just pulled up this little section here for the.
Oh, so I'm glad I'm seeing the video because I didn't know if you were pulling up that book by that clown in Arizona called Bailey Breathing or Bailey Eating or whatever.
No, this is like from the 1800s. This is common.
Black's Law, got it.
Black's Law's Dictionary. It's all the definitions of all the common law meetings, that common law things that actual Constitution was based on. So, but anyway, one of the things I wanted to throw up here is this section right here. Okay, all my stuff's chopped up. Hold on, I gotta make it.
That's
bigger.
all right.
Okay, here we go. So, let me see if I can get it over here now. And trying. There we go. Okay, so in the most crime-ridden spot in the country, our nation's capital, this is the District of Columbia Law 23582. It is legal for citizens' arrest. A private person may arrest another who has probable cause to believe he is committing in his presence a felony, which the illegal immigrants are, or an offense enumerated in Section 20, yada, 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 in aid of a law enforcement officer, which is what they're doing, or a special policeman or other person authorized by law to make an arrest. Any person making an arrest pursuant to this section shall deliver the person arrested to a law enforcement person. That's cut off without any unreasonably delay, which they're not doing. They're telling these people as soon as they get them, they're calling the Border Patrol. So, and this is not something new. Okay, citizens' arrests are legal. If you go into a bank and someone's robbing it and you have a gun, you can stop that person and tell them to lay on the ground. And when a cop gets there, so the fact that's why they're having a problem and why the Border Patrol hasn't necessarily stopped it. Now the Border Patrol has said, I don't have the exact quote, but they basically have said, listen, we don't encourage any citizens to be down there trying to do the job of law enforcement officers. They don't encourage it, but they can't stop it. Why? Because it's legal. So and obviously the only reason they actually care about it, this lady says, Stephanie Cordy with the ACLU, these videos are very, very heartbreaking. What's heartbreaking? These guys have not even harmed anybody, okay? It says law enforcement should intervene and treat the militia acts as a kidnapping offense. It's not. The immigrants came to them. They're not going to get the immigrants, okay?
Right. They didn't go over the border. Now, real quick in chat, Thomas Gordon says this case is important and can set a norm, taking away rights of the people.
Yeah, if they say, well, only if they say that, hold on, the case of... This can set norm, taking away rights of the people. Thomas, I'm assuming, I'm hoping that you're talking about the rights of the people as far as it goes, as far as citizens' arrest, and not the rights of the people as far as the immigrants. And I'm assuming that you're talking about the citizen arrest. It says, right. And this lady says, adding that the solution was not to bring out more Border Patrol officers, but to stop arresting asylum seekers. Give me a break. Here's the thing. I love this plan. This was awesome. Send them to the sanctuary cities. Send them to the.
Right.
They talked about sending them to sanctuary cities. Send them to the sanctuary cities.
Oh yeah. You seen how all of a sudden they were freaking out when you were talking about sending all the illegal aliens to all these 90210 and all these other addresses. Even Cher now is getting red pilled. Even Cher's coming out like, what?
Dude, if you did that and they had them there for any amount of time and they said that would be cruel, why? These are nice places. Most of them, I mean, they're all in California.
Hold on, Rich, I got an answer. Thomas Gordon said, yes, taking away the right
of citizens' arrest.
Yeah.
Which is a very important right, which, by the way, it's something that it's one of the founding things that the militias are able to do. And once goes back to, okay, I'll just say this. The reason that why do we have militias? Constitutionally, the founding fathers, the Federalist Papers, read it. Why do we have the right to have a militia? So that if our government becomes tyrannical, it's not just the right of the people, but the obligation of the people to take care of that government. That's why we're allowed to have militia.
No, I mean, they would know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a perfect example of that path towards that is using the
Hold on. I think you've. Uh oh. I think we froze it. Is it just me, or did we lose Jake there? I don't know if. Okay. I can't see chat, but did you see where the Mexican army detained our soldiers at the border? No, I did not. And I don't know what the response to that would be. All right. So, are you there now, Jake?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. You froze up for like 20 seconds. I thought I had lost you here.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, that's okay. And taking away the right to have militias. Yes, exactly, because the militias is the pinnacle. We came from a country where our rights had gotten trounced on, and so the whole purpose of the militia was so that would never happen again. Hence the fact that we're able to have weapons. It's not for deer hunting. It's not to go out and shoot Bambi or hunt, although we're allowed to do that. It's so that we could defend ourselves. So
Right.
Yeah. Let's see.
We can't shoot Bambi because
Yeah, they're okay with.
full-grown deer, and Bambi's fake. Bambi's probably as real as Q is. I'm just kidding. Money and everything else.
Yeah, Q's out there feeding Bambi right now. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
So but anyway, so that's the whole thing. And let's face it, people, this all comes down once again. Why do they want the immigrants here? They don't want them to live in their backyard, like he says. They want them because they're votes. That's what this is all about. It's all about the votes. So
Yeah, they're already voting in school districts and stuff on, school matters.
Right.
So it's not far from when they, just say anybody here can vote. So what? You can fly over here, vote, and go back to wherever you came from. It's crazy.
Well-
They're worried about Russian collusion and $10,000 worth of Facebook ads. And shout out to Ron Waxman. He's got a huge following. I used to be the only Trump supporter allowed on his page, but he blocked me last night because I was asking questions. He was like, Trump lies, and Sarah Sanders lies. And I said, you mean like you can keep your doctor? And he's like, Total News Network, you piece of crap. He blocked me. And today he actually followed me on Total News Network. Shout out to Ron. He's total New York liberal, hates Trump. Was the only guy allowed on his page. He blocked me, but he obviously unblocked me and followed me. So that's pretty cool.
And that is cool. Sometimes you get the people you are so diametrically opposed with, but you can have a good time with them. And
Yeah.
and since we're talking about the fact that, and I don't know if I have this pickup, I'm going to throw. No, I don't. Let me. I'm just going to throw this one in real quick. Let me toss this picture in there. Okay, here we go. Have you heard about this one? So Bernie Sanders says that even terrible people in prison should be able to vote. Other Democrats were more restrained. Did you see that? Are you looking
Oh
at
yeah,
that?
where he was saying the Boston bomber and could vote, and well, hey, let's let the guy that shot up Parkland vote. What is wrong with these people? Seriously.
I find it funny that the gene pool that the left wants as their constituency are illegal immigrants and felons. I mean, it's just really funny. Can you not win the election from the actual people that are paying and working and doing things in this country? You got
See
to.
it now. Breaking news: CNN. Beto O'Rourke is heading to Rikers Island for a rally.
Yeah, no,
Are you
Beto.
kidding me right now?
Yeah, no, actually, I had pulled up. Hold on, I'll tell you what he says because I had looked at that. On Wednesday, Beto O'Rourke, former Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, Julian Castro, both said they backed letting nonviolent felons cast ballots behind bars, but they drew the line at violent prisoners. Listen, if you're behind bars, not only should you not have cable TV, but you should not have the right to vote. Okay? You are a felon behind bars, and you're going to say just because they were nonviolent? Well, you got Bernie Madoff, who ruined the lives of thousands of people who he took their entire retirement savings account and spent it, and these people are living destitute for the rest of their life.
They haven't killed himself.
Yeah, exactly. It may not be a violent act, but it is one that was, as somebody who's hoping one day to retire, I can't even imagine what that would be. You spent your entire life trying to save up just enough because God knows Social Security is not going to be there. I don't know if you saw the article on that, but
Yeah, where's Social Security? I mean, no shock there.
Yeah,
That-
hey, Della Pearl, it says they want illegals and felons, but let's kill our own babies. You know why? Because for the most part, the people that are all about their kids, okay, and raise them up right, sometimes are going to lean to the right. So yeah, they figure, I mean, if you talk about abortions, I mean, people with a moral proclivity that every life is precious and the sanctity of life, usually when they grow up, those kids are usually have loving parents and all that stuff, and they're going to probably have morals of their own and will not just kowtow down to a government that wants to take all the rights away. Just a
Well,
thought
really,
on
none
that.
of this matters because AOC Cortez, the nut job from New York, says in 12 years we're all going to be dead from global warming anyway. So one guy wrote a tweet out. He said, "Why are banks still giving 30-year mortgages? We're all going to be dead in 12 years." Crazy, bro.
That's a good
I
point.
can't even keep up with this stuff.
That's a good point. What was that other thing I had? See if I can find anything.
Oh, just real quick while you're finding that.
Yeah.
Of course, Jack Dorsey, who I just can't stand, anti-free speech. Jack Dorsey claims he made Twitter, for people to have discussions. Unless you're a conservative and unless you're pro-Trump, then you get your page shut down 10 times like me. He went to the White House and met with President Trump behind closed doors. But I don't, and President Trump tweeted out something earlier, which I don't agree with. And yes, sometimes I don't agree with President Trump. I'm not a cheerleader, a sycophant, or whatever, saying that the government needs to do something about it. Wrong. I don't want the government to do something about it. I want conservatives to make their own platforms like DLive, which I think we're live on right now, but on Total News Network. We are going to make a Vantage Point page there.
Yeah.
But the answer is not government control,
Yep.
So,
Yeah, no, it is less government, the better, and yeah. So, let's see what else. I pretty much Georgetown reparations. Now, that's another thing. So apparently they took this vote, and so the a faction of the students of Georgetown now want included in tuition a fee for reparation to the descendants of slaves that Georgetown had way back in the day. And apparently not everybody voted on it. And even the people that voted on it, not everybody agreed with it. So it's not a huge faction, but it'll be interesting to see whether Georgetown actually, because now that the students put this vote out, now the actual college has to put that into tuition, which, it's sizable enough, I'm sure.
that whole reparations for that, come on.
Yeah.
And where do you stop? Then you got the Jews that were forced to build the pyramids. Where do you stop with the slave thing and that you owe these people money?
Minnesota just put stop to Catholic adoption agencies because they put babies in traditional homes with two hetero parents.
It's crazy.
Oh, because they wouldn't put it. Yeah. We won't even go there. That'll be a subject on its own. And I know we're running out of time, but I do want to say this. Now, I know that we got the late start, so I'm not going to be able, but I do want to put this up here because I had a lot of stuff. Actually, no, I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to throw yours up first because I know you want to talk about these two things. Hold on, let me get Bernie off of the page. There it is.
Since we're bringing up Minnesota, Ilhan Omar,
Oh, okay, yeah, let me get.
the American way of life again, and
Yeah, so this is that.
killing all kinds of people in Somalia. What a piece of garbage Ilhan Omar is, and how this person gets elected. No surprise, because didn't Obama bring all these Somalis into Minnesota? I mean,
Yeah, there's that tweet that you sent me with the Ron Harris tweet attached
Yeah.
to it. Yeah, that, and of course this on the heels of what we were talking about before, which was the U.S. measles hit highest level in 25
yeah.
years. Which hey, I'll tell you what, you let all these illegal immigrants come in, it's going to hit a lot more. I want reparations for Mueller's investigation. That's what Della Pearl says, and good point. As the Democrats drag this out and they keep eating up, that's our tax money. This is all our tax money. This is not their money to do with what they want to. And that's why people don't want to pay any more taxes. They talk about the rich paying their fair share. I'll tell you what, when you become a good steward of the money I am paying, then you talk to me about you want to increase my taxes. But you are so pathetic at allocating and provisioning this country with what it needs with my tax money. Don't dare come asking me for another penny. It's jacked up.
what a waste! What a waste of money on a fake witch hunt. Ridiculous, because you're a crybaby and you lost.
Yeah, and now you want to talk about impeachment proceedings? How much does that cost? Come on, get out of here, people.
They don't have the votes. They won't have the votes.
You want to impeach him? Win the election. Until you do that, shut up. Okay, so I took the time to do this. This is only two things. Fukushima, which I've talked about since we've even started this thing because no one else talks about it. So I will say this because even my staunch fiscal conservative, am a science bug, and Fukushima is screwing up everything. And I'm not going to get into everything, but I'm just going to go through one paragraph. The workers started removing the first of 566 used and unused fuel units stored in the pool at Unit 3. People, I just want to say, just absorb that sentence. Started removing the first of 566 used and unused fuel units stored in the pool at Unit 3. These are units that still require water to stay cool. Okay, this is where they're pulling this stuff out with a crane that usually has a computer system that gently pulls this out. They're going to be ripping these things out, and the worst part is they're throwing untold, well, there is told, and I won't go through the whole story, of contaminated water out into the ocean to make way for more water to cool these when they finally get into them containment. For anybody who doesn't keep up with it, I just want to throw up two pictures real quick, okay? This aerial shot that I'm showing right now, as you look down on this ground, looks like it's plots of farmland that are sitting there. That is not what this is. These are sites around Fukushima that they're actually taking this contaminated earth, they're scraping it up, they're putting it in these bags. Ultimately, they're going to throw them out in the ocean. And this is from 2015. Okay, this is what they were doing in 2015. You can't even get shots of this in 2017 on Google Earth. They're not releasing them. But this is what it looks like up close. What you saw from the air, if you zoom down to the places where these bags are, you see the cranes in the middle. These are bags that they are just stocking up. Not only will they not have the Fukushima thing, because TEPCO went to the International Nuclear Regulatory Committee and said, we're going to have this cleaned up in 40 years. And they laughed them out the door. They said, not only will you not have them, not have it contained in 40 years, not only will we not have it cleaned up in 40 years, you won't even have it contained. So we will do a story one time because the amount of radioactive runoff water that the 400 tons of water going out into the Pacific Ocean every day from this one reactor. And that's only reactor unit number 3 is only one. You have all the other units that are damaged. They can't even get to the cells right now.
Yeah, it's bad over there, and they're not even covering it. And they think, oh, who cares? It's over there. Well, what's over there is going to come over here.
Oh, and they're already seeing that. We'll cover that too. Anyway, I just had to throw that in there because I spent so much time getting those pictures. I knew we were going to run out of time. I wouldn't be able to share it, but we will do a story.
That's all right. And we don't have a set time because, most of these scammers that use these botnets, if you notice, their shows are like exactly an hour or like 2 minutes, 3 minutes less than an hour. Because if they go over an hour, they're going to go from 1,400 live viewers down to like 150 or 200. And so you can actually see them looking at the clock, like freaking out, like, I have to end this. Okay, thank you for joining. Because if they go over an hour, I got a challenge. Any of you guys that claim you're not using botnets, go over an hour and show us that you're not using botnets. Because they pay by the hour. That's why they have set times. They have to come on at a certain time and they have to end it by a certain time.
It'd be fun.
If they don't, their numbers are going to drop like a rock, man.
It would be funny if an operator came on. Please deposit another quarter.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God. Whatever. Whatever. But if you're selling advertising with fake numbers, you might want to watch out because that is fraud. So.
That is fraud. That's right. Awesome. Well, hey, I'll tell you what, I'm getting hoarse here, but I've enjoyed this. I've enjoyed it, and it's been too long since we were able to get together. I know that we've both been busy. And
yes.
You got your mom moved in, working on remodeling the house, and oh man, you've done a fantastic job. I saw the pictures. It looks good.
And that's why I was late actually getting all set up over here. And we were actually, I think, an hour late. I didn't plan on being that late, so I apologize. That's why I always say around 9, around 9 p.m.
Right. Well, I know we were trying to get the chat embedded in all those, and Della and Thomas and Glay and Rocky, all the people that came tonight. Thanks. Know it's late. Know it's Wednesday. Other stuff to do. Other people to talk to or listen to. You chose us, and as always, we say we appreciate that. Any final
Absolutely.
thoughts there, Jake?
No, just watch the outro. That's got all contact information, and just follow and share, and have a blessed night.
Yeah, and I know that one, but somebody chatted before that the outro, the music there was kind of creepy. Just so you know, that wasn't something I made for this. It was an EDM, part of an EDM song
Right.
that I had made. So, and I just clipped it to
Oh,
make
I think that was Abe. He
Was
was
that-
messing around.
Yeah.
He thought I was singing it, but it actually says,
be
"Be good to us, and we'll be good to
it
you."
would be good to you, which is fair enough, right? So yeah, so enjoy it, listen to it, and thanks for watching. We'll catch you guys hopefully next Wednesday, if not before.
Peace out.
With a poem in old-fashioned meter. Be good to us, and we will be good to you. Be good to us, and we will be good. I would like to begin with a poem in old-fashioned meter. Be good to us, and we will be good to you. Be good to us, and we will be good. Be good to